A lone figure walks through the desert. The sun is high in the sky, overbearing upon the landscape. This figure is covered in rags of various browns and beiges, all faded and worn by the erosion of wind and sand. After cresting the hill of one dune and going down a few feet, they stop and take a seat in the shadow of this dune to get the last few remaining drops of water from their canteen. Probably the last water they'll have for a while. As they put their canteen away, they stand up and stretch and give a loud sigh. Before them, the landscape sprays out, a giant canvas of various beiges and browns, mainly sand dunes, occasionally a bush or a barren tree, but mainly is desert. The figure continues making their way down this sand dune, and as they climb up another one, when they reach the top, a gust of wind blows back their hood, and we, the camera, see that this is Jem Lovec. My name is Kenneth. You're watching Lone Dice Guy, and this is Jem Lovec's 5th edition solo adventure. Okay, yeah, we're changing gears. We're changing gears a little bit. I think Ming's in a very good spot right now. I wanted to shift gears a little bit. Maybe see what happened to Jem in this interim period between leaving Ming and maybe meeting again. So yeah, next few sessions are going maybe next few sessions are going to be from Jem's perspective, and so this will be fun. Jem's now going to kind of take over the main character status just for a little while. Just for a little while. Don't you worry, Ming's coming back, and we're gonna play this out. Now, here is my scene setup. A lone figure walks in the desert. Who could it be? Well, of course, it's Jem Lovec. We know that. And so she's going home to her village of demon, monster, undead slayers. So, as always, we will, at the start of each scene, roll a d10. Now, we're putting our chaos room back to 5. It's a fresh, clean slate of everything. We do have our character list: Ming Zhao, Tai Yang, Master Dalong, Karvok and Modig Soldat, Ivan Sano, Jem Lovec, Jenny Lovec, and Nissaranth the Dragon. So we've got our character list, and we've got our threads. Now, complete training only applies to Ming. Meet Jem in 3 months, so this could be changed to meet Ming in 3 months. Tai Yang, we don't care about Tai Yang or the merchant militia. Really, the only thing that really concerns Jem is her sister, finding her sister, and to find out what is going on with all the strong monsters that are appearing lately. So, with that said, roll a d10 to see if this scene is altered or changed or interrupted in any way. 8, so it's above 5, no change whatsoever. All right. With that said, Jem is traveling home. Now, she is, I've played it up where she's from a family of monster, undead, demon type slayers. Like, they hunt the things that go bump in the night. So of course they've got to live in the desert. This is a safe place for them to practice their craft. And of course there's always something dangerous in the desert. But so that being said, we need to know more about this family, this I don't even know what to call it. Organization, we don't know what. So let's roll some dice. So here's the thing. I have a couple questions for the fate chart, but before we even get to that, I want to learn more about Jem's family, the Lovec family. So yeah, let's roll. 60, that was a 90, isn't it? No, that's a 60. So 69, ruin. 28 is pleasures. Ruin, pleasures. That doesn't really make sense to me, so let's roll some more. Maybe some more information will pop up. 27 is praise. And then we have 93, praise weather. Ruin, pleasures, praise weather. Kind of rhymes. I'm going to do one more, because I'm having a hard time figuring this stuff out. This time it's 96. Guide. 57, tactics. Ruin, pleasures, praise weather, guide, tactics. One more, just to be safe. 38, inform. 41, advice. So, ruin, pleasures, praise weather, guide, tactics, and inform advice. Okay. So here's what I think I understand going on. So ruin pleasures. I can imagine that they are trying to ruin the pleasures of the monsters they're trying to hunt. Right? They're hunters first and foremost. But I think this comes from like the idea, like if you look at all the different fantasy tropes, the necromancers, the evil guys. What are they trying to do? They're trying to get something they want, pleasure, right? The pleasure that they want. It doesn't have to be like actual pleasure. It could be money, fame, power, eternal, immortal life, whatever. They're trying to gain something that they want, and these guys, the Lovec family, gets in their way, stops them, just stops them in their tracks, ruins that pleasure. They are hunters of evil. Praise weather. I think they love natural things. They're not going to like a lot of unnatural magic or unnatural abilities. They're very much going to want to live in harmony with nature. They're not quite druidic on that level, but definitely they're not going to be industrial, right? They're going to be very rustic and country, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Guide tactics. I think that their talents are so well recognized in all of Prachula, which is the name of the land, the continent they're on, that they're going to be sought by dukes and leaders and kings and queens. They're going to be sought by people, leaders, for their skills as advisors for their own hunting parties or their own militaries. They're very they're very tactical, so they're able to advise others on how to do that. And then form advice. I think they're going to be good teachers. They're going to pass on we've already seen Jem teach Ming, right? That's actually really good. Actually, I like that connection right there. So they're really good teachers, right? They know to pass on their skills and ability, whether mundane, like survivalist stuff, like Jem taught Ming, or some of the more monster, undead, demon-specific things they're hunting, right? They're able to help others and teach them really well. And so they've been able to maintain their traditions, maybe across generations. Who knows? All right, so we have a bit more of an understanding of the Lovec family, and I like that a lot. So if Ming's order could be, described as more kind of separatist from like aesthetic separating from the world, these guys are in the world. Like they're involved in how things are going with nations. They're trying to advise leaders and teach their skills down to the next generations. They care about natural things in the natural world. This is cool. Like this is the dichotomy is really cool. All right. That said, we have our scene. Jem is going home. She's not quite there yet, so I'm going to roll a d12. Higher it is, the further away she is from home. 4. Okay, so she's maybe less than a day. Like she's maybe a couple hours away. Okay. Does she get attacked during her trip there? Or her trip home? I don't know. 50-50. 34 is a yes. Not extreme yes, just a yes. So here's the question. What does she get attacked by? This is just a quick combat, just to remind us of Jem's abilities. So we're going to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We'll go to Desert Encounters and roll us up a random encounter. 54. 1d4 giant spiders. Yeah, gross. Gross. 2 giant spiders. Okay. All right. So Jem is walking along kind of the ridge of a big sand dune, and she hears the sound of sand kind of displacing itself. So she looks around really quickly. I mean, she's been in the desert her whole. She was raised in this village, so she knows the desert back. It's her favorite environment as a ranger. So she stops and looks around. She knows what's happening. She can hear the coming out of the sand, 2 spiders behind her. So she quickly turns around and she sees the spindly, hairy beige legs kind of pop out of the sand, and then the bodies follow. And these are spiders, maybe the size of like a small horse. So they're huge, right? I mean, not huge to how they should be, not actually huge. So, really quickly, we'll just roll a really quick combat for that. I'll just roll quick initiative. Jem is going first. She's at her initiative is 19. They only had 8, so Jem is going to go first. She quickly, throws off her cloak out of the way, pulls her longbow out, ching, quickly. It's already strung, of course, so she quickly pulls it out. But pulls out an arrow out of her quiver, lines it up, and she's going to fire. Remember, she gets 2 shots, and they're within 5 feet of each other. So she fires the first one and the second one off at the same target. So, oh great. First one is going to definitely hit. So 14 plus 11 is a 25. That definitely hits. But she rolled a natural 1. Ugh. So remember our rule here. So starts at 40%. If it's, starts at 30, right? So starts at 30%. If it's higher than 30, we're good, no problem. It's lower than 30, something bad happens. Oh no, 25. All right. We'll figure that next. First one, the first attack does hit, so that's going to be a 1d8 plus 5. Oh, great. That's 4 plus 5 equals 9. Only 9 damage. Oh, dear. All right. So she fires her bow. The first arrow flies through the air and just hits, kind of like if you have the spider body, hits right above the back of like the 8 eyes, right above that into the, and just kind of slides in and sticks out. And she can hear that. Noise that it makes whenever it does hit. Yeah. Anyway, it's not happy. The second arrow she flies off, it flies off and just whiffs into the in the desert behind them. She'll try to find it later, that arrow. But something bad does happen. Oh, I know. All right. So I'm gonna have her make a quick dexterity save. DC will be 10 plus 5 because it's 5. And this is her favorite environment actually. So I'm gonna give her a -2, so she only has to roll a 13 or higher. So 18, nice. Plus her dex, which is like plus 9. Yeah, okay, she got it. So she takes a step back when she misses, and she knows immediately what happened. She took a step too far to the left, and she starts sliding down the sand dune. She doesn't fall prone or anything, but now she's about 25 feet below them, and they have the high ground. So with that, it's now their turn. Now, she has something called a horde breaker. So if she has 2 enemies which are 5 feet away from each other, which these guys are, she can make another attack against the separate enemy, even if she's already done her attacks. So, real quick, just 17, that definitely does hit. Damage is 1d8. That's 4 plus 5 equals 9 to that as well. Wow. So as she slides down, when she comes to a halt, she quickly fires off one last arrow, and it hits kind of the upper abdomen of the other spider, but on the bottom, as it's kind of like rearing up, doing that. All right. One of the spiders is going to basically charge down the sand dune at her and jump, and then kind of splay its mandibles and try to bite her head off, essentially. So it's gonna roll for that. Oh goodness. So 14 plus 2 equals 16, and that is going to hit her armor class. Yikes. And so that's going to be it's going to be a 1d3 plus 3. So only 2. So 2 plus 3 was 5. That's not bad. So, but when it does that, Jem needs to make a strength saving throw. Or, I'm sorry, a constitution saving throw. My bad. Constitution saving throw. Which is, she failed! Oh goodness, DC was 11, 5 plus her 3 is 9, or 8, sorry, it was 11, so she failed, which means she's gonna take an additional 2d8 poison damage. Oh great, so 6 plus 7 equals 13 damage, goodness. So the spider, speeds down the dune, sand flopping everywhere, its legs, whatever. It rears up and then takes its mandibles. Jem barely has time to put up her arms, the braces on them, and the spider, just brings her arms like this, the mandibles sinking into some of the exposed parts of her arm, and then basically the little pustules and needles on its mandibles digging deep into her the skin before it pulls back. And Jem immediately can feel the effects as the poison starts flooding through her veins. This isn't good. Great start, Jem. Great start. So she's poisoned, which means that she'll have disadvantage on all of her attacks. Oh, great. And even worse, if the poison damage is what brings her to 0 at any point in this fight before she gets healed, she'll be paralyzed. Not a good thing. So here, second spider's turn. It's actually going to shoot. It's going to kind of jump up and shoot some web at her. So let's fire that away. Oh goodness, 18 plus 5 definitely hits. The target is restrained. So as Jem's like just sitting there, the poison coursing through her veins, and her vision and thinking processes start to get fuzzy. She just kind of sees the other spider jump up, and it shoots web at her, and she can feel it wrap around her, and she's still like this, and she's now restrained. This isn't good. This is not good at all. Jem, what the heck? You're supposed to be badass. All right. So that's their turn. That spider's not going to move. It's going to let its friend be the tank in this one. Goodness gracious. So now it's back to Jem's turn. She has to use an action to break free. DC 12 strength check. She has 0, so it's just a luck roll. 12 is that enough? Yes, it is. DC 12. She made it just enough. 0 strength, just a 12. All right. Whew. So she breaks, and the web starts snapping a little bit. She breaks it, but it still clings to like the outsides of her cloak. All right. That was her action. She used it to do that. She does get a bonus action, and so she's going to cast. So she quickly concentrates, grabs her, touches her bow, says an incantation. It glows a little bit. She casts Hail of Thorns for the next time she can attack. It's the spider's turn now. All right, so spider right in front of her is going to reach up and try to smack her again. I'm gonna roll both attacks, sorry, I think it's one, my bad. We'll roll the attack and the damage, so the damage is going to be a 1d8 plus 3, roll that at the same time. Alright, it definitely hits, and so that's 6 points of damage to her. Yikes. Man, she's getting thrashed, but it's okay, she's fine still. Alright, and then of course, Constitution saving throws again. I'm going to go ahead and roll all the damage just in case she fails. So, oh my goodness! What? She rolled a natural 1, so she definitely failed. And she got 10 points of poison damage on that one. Goodness. So she again, the spider rears up and bites hard. She tries to block it, but it just sinks. It's not kind of like on her. It sinks its mandibles into her shoulders, and she's able to push it off. Just barely, but again, she's woozy. At this point, poison's coursing through her veins in her body, and she's not feeling very good. All right, so now second spider's turn. Same thing. He's gonna try and shoot the web at her again. So it's gonna be that, and if it does succeed, it's gonna recharge. The web's gonna recharge. Oh goodness! So we're gonna roll to recharge it. 1. It does not recharge. Yes. Okay. So what's it gonna do? I think it's going to come down and fight her as well, one-on-one. So it's going to run down and do a bite attack as well. So we'll roll that. Oh, finally. It's going to miss. 15 is going to miss Jem's armor class. So the spider, as Jem was, she hears the, in the sand as it pitters down. And then she hears the, as it comes down, and she just grabs her rapier and just pulls it out and just knocks it away. Drops her bow in the ground. She's got more important things to worry about right now than that. Now it's Jem's turn. She's going to take the rapier and stab the spider in front of her. She gets 2 attacks. She's going to stab 1 to each with damage as well. All right. First one is an 18. That definitely hits with a 7. So 7 plus 5 is 12. That brings this one down to 5 hit points. And the other one is a 9 plus 6 equals 15. That is going to be its armor class as well. That's a 1 only, so 6. She takes her rapier and stabs one of the one, and she just stabs straight down the throat, but isn't enough to quite reach whatever nervous system the spider, I don't know, spiders, whatever controls it, doesn't have enough, quite deep enough, so she pulls it out, the blood splurting everywhere, all in the sand, and it's gross, and she can hear it She can hear it making that gross gurgling noise. Takes her rapier, turns, and then just ching, stabs the other one. But she just kind of stabs maybe like one of the eyes or something, and she can hear it go, but she pulls it out. It's not as hurt as the first one. So, all right, it's their last chance. So the one with webbing is going to try to recharge. It did recharge, great. And so it's going to fire. It's going to fire its webbing. Now, that's a ranged weapon attack. She's right up next to him, so it's going to be with disadvantage. And it missed. So she as in her addled state, she hears the spider that she had stabbed really hard. She hears it go, and it rears up and quickly jumps up to shoot web at her. And she just steps to the side, and the web shoots past, lands in the sand, in a little gross glob. She avoids it. It's right next to it, so she had disadvantage. The next one's going to take its attack with the damage, and it's not going to hit. 9. So this other spider also hurt, tries to reach up and bite her, and so she just kind of takes the end of her rapier and punts it back down. She's not having it, and so she's pissed. She's going to take a step back and actually incur 2 attacks of opportunities. She's going to take 15 feet back. One is, they're both going to miss. So 7 plus 5 is 12. That doesn't hit. 10 plus 5, 15. So these spiders are done. They're totally done. So she steps back. She kind of takes this, goes even further down the sand dune, and the spiders take a couple swipes at her. They miss entirely. And she quickly drops. She sticks her rapier in the sand, pulls her bow out, pulls an arrow, knocks an arrow, and lines up perfectly with one of the spiders. And the arrow glows with the magic that she's been infusing into it. And she takes a shot. And so it's going to be, just a regular shot. But here we go. Nice. So 11 plus 7 equals 18. She takes that fire, fires it, sails through the air. And so she's going to do the regular 1d8 plus 5. That's 11. So that is going to kill the spider that was shooting web at her. And then, whenever she does that, a hail of darts and thorns erupt out of the spider's body, causing 1d10 damage to the spider next to it. Oh, it gets a dexterity saving throw, which it succeeds, so it's only half. Okay, fine. We have to play by the rules. 4, so only 2. Okay, so it's not dead yet. Not dead yet. Alright, so this thorns erupt out of the dead spider's body, and it sticks into its friend's side, and blood's splurting out of different orifices. One leg is kind of malfunctioning, I guess. Spiders are basically robots, right? It's malfunctioning nervous system. Finally, Jem is she's at this point. I think the poison is taking such a toll on her body. She's not able to think. She's just running on instinct at this point. She just drops her bow, grabs her rapier, and looks at it like, let's go. It's almost drunk even. Is the spider smart enough to run away? It's not gonna. It's gonna die. It's intelligence -4. It's running on instinct as well. So we'll do the fate chart. Does the spider run away? 50-50. 54, it's a no. Okay. It's going to the death. It's gonna, not to the death. It still has instincts, right? It's gonna shoot, or it's gonna try to recharge web. Sorry. No! This one never fought web at her. So yeah. It's going to shoot its web. It's a ranged hit. 13 plus 5 was 18. That is gonna hit. So the webbing is gonna, one last ditch effort, jump, get on its hind legs, and have the, I don't know what it's called, the spindle part of it at the butt of a spider, shoot the web. And it is going to hit, and it's going to, again, wrap around Jem. And it's going to move closer because it wants to go in for the kill as well. Jem's turn. Strength check. 16 DC 12. Succeeds. Breaks free. She gets a bonus action. And so she's going to cast Magic Weapon. She's going to slowly concentrate. She can hear the... She'll just touch her blade as it glows this ethereal bluish bluish, greenish, aquamarine color. Shing. And she points it up forward. So now the spider's turn. It's going to just attack with its regular mandibles. Try and poison her again. A natural 20. You gotta be kidding me. What? So it gets 2 damage dice. We already rolled 1, so that was 5. And it gets 1 more, and it's an 8. So 8 plus 5 equals 13 plus, oh my gosh, plus 3, it's 16 damage. So whenever it leans, it runs forward, and she's like, she's drunk, like with the poison going through her veins. And she like thinks she's got it. She swipes a little bit, and it like depresses down into the ground and just rams forward, taking its mandibles and taking a huge bite into her abdomen. You know, she at that point, a little bit of like mix of vomit and blood and maybe poison at this point comes out of her mouth, and it holds on, takes some skin with it, and then. And not the organs aren't like piling out, but she's cut up. She's hurt. Okay, it's now or never, Jem. So she's gonna attack with all of her might. Both attacks right here, right now. It's got magic weapon, so that means it's gonna be +1 to hit and damage. Both for them, yeah. Here we go. Okay, so 7 plus 8. 1 is 8. Plus 9 is 17. That's definitely going to hit. 18 plus 9 that's going to hit. Okay. And then 7 plus 5 was 12. That spider's done. All right, so the spider she takes her rapier and just and she stabbing all of her might. And cutting off arms, slashing through the eyeball, you know, just stab. And she's looking down, and the spider stopped moving, and it's just kind of splurting occasional blood. The legs are starting to curl up like spiders do when you kill them. It's gross. I hate spiders. Oh, okay. So first encounter with Jem, and she's already pretty cut up. We have a problem. She's poisoned, and so this is a major thing. So what are we gonna do? Well, she is poisoned, and so. Yeah, you know, she's not doing so well. I'm going to say every hour that she goes by without either administering some kind of healing or medicine or whatever, she's going to take an additional 1d6 damage. So she's at 30, so she can last 5 hours without getting some kind of healing or something, right? So here's the bigger question. How far away from home is she? Because we know she's relatively close. We've established that. How far away? A D8. That's how many hours away from home she is. 5 hours exactly. Okay. Whoa, this is good. Tense. Okay, so she breathes a heavy sigh, picks up the arrow that was in the sand earlier, puts it back in her quiver. Sheathes her, wipes and sheathes her sword. Everything gets ready, and she starts going down the way. After another hour, she takes a D6, 2. Okay, so again, she's loopy. At this point, she's hallucinating things. She's seeing her sister, sometimes maybe even Ming, or the fire elemental, like rising up out of the stone. She just starts seeing all kinds of images from the past several months. She's her mom and her dad and her family and her village. And she sees several mirages. She's occasionally a flash of like a spider, like the image of a spider flash in front of her face. She freaks out for a second, but then realizes that it's just an hallucination. Next one. 4. Oh dear. So 4 damage go again. So so at this point, she starts to feel her shoulders get really tense, like she's dehydrated, right? She's also dehydrated. And her arms feel tingly, like she's getting... whatever. Okay. Next hour. 1. Okay, so we're having a good roll. So 1 damage. And then I'm just going to roll the next 2 hours. Because literally, speak of the devil, 6. And last one, she's going to survive, but 4. All right. So finally, she sees it. Like, she is so tired and out of her mind and exhausted and poisoned, and she can feel it in her bones. She's on death's door. like 13 hit points away from death's door. And so she stumbles to the edge, to an oasis, at the edge of her village, and basically collapses in front of a couple shepherds tending their sheep. And immediately, these are her family, right? So they recognize who it is, and they quickly run up to her and carry her into the village. So she just barely made it into the village. What happened? All right, so I think that's a great place to end it. Jem has barely made it home. The poison is coursing through her veins. I'm sure her family knows what to do to save her. But Jem is back into her home, her village, where she grew up, the village of the Lovec monster, demon, I don't know what to call them yet, but the hunters that hunt these creatures. And so, yeah. I'm at Kenneth, the Lone Dice Guy. Thank you so much for watching these episodes. A new little arc is starting as Jem Lovec, where Jem is our focus character, and we're going to get a little bit of her story, her background, and more for that. So I'm looking forward to this. This should be a lot of fun. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, follow this channel for more. If you like Jem more than Ming, let me know in the comments. If you think Jem was nerfed, same character, so I don't know what happened. Maybe my main characters just have bad luck. We'll see. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you'll do all the dumb YouTube stuff. See you in the next one, okay? So thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless.